Good morning and welcome to the Midweek Mini. Now, after we did the dark episode earlier this week, I just decided that it would be something better to do, something lighthearted, so that it's not weighing so heavy on the heart and the head. So, we're going to talk about St. Patrick's Day, which is coming up on Thursday. Now, we know that it has Irish origins, but what do we really know about it other than drinking lots of beer and getting pinched if we don't wear green? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today, so stick around. Y'all, I kind of like that. It kind of sounds like a talk show coming on or something, right? All right, so, you know, you don't have to be Irish to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And there's a good chance that you don't even have any Irish blood in you, but it's like the quote from Boondock Saints. Yeah, it's St. Patty's Day. Everyone's Irish tonight. That's one line that's always stuck with me from that movie, and it is one of my favorite movies. Now, I can remember when I was a little kid in school making sure to remember to wear green on St. Patrick's Day from the fear of being pinched. And heck, sometimes the mean kids would just pinch you anyway, whether you were wearing green or not. But back then, we just celebrated it, not really knowing the origins of it. Now, as I grew older, I felt more of a connection to the Irish and Ireland itself. And when I was doing my ancestry online, I did find some ancestors that came to America from Ireland. So I was so excited to actually have some Irish roots. Now, I just recently sent my DNA thing back to Ancestry.com. So I'm waiting to get those results back, and I'm going to be sure to share what I find out with y'all. Could be pretty interesting. Now, my favorite thing to do on St. Patrick's Day now these days is cooking a brisket, like a corned beef brisket, with beer and spices and potatoes and onions and cabbage and carrots, and eating until I'm pretty much miserable, but But y'all, there is just so much more to St. Patrick's Day than just wearing green and eating yummy foods. St. Patrick's Day is always on the 17th of March every single year, okay? And the Irish have celebrated that day for over 1,000 years as a religious holiday, honoring St. Patrick, who died on that day way back in the 5th century. So who was St. Patrick? Well, in short, St. Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland, and he's that nation's apostle. An interesting note about St. Patrick's early life is he was kidnapped in Roman Britain, where he was born, and brought to Ireland as a slave when he was only 16 years old. Now, he later escaped, but then he ended up returning to Ireland, and he brought Christianity to the country. And in the years that passed after his death, a lot of legends about St. Patrick started circulating after, like I said, after his death. And one of those things is that he's credited with explaining the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, with a shamrock. And another legend about him is that he drove the snakes out of Ireland. And some say that those snakes are in reference to pagans. Now, even though he died in the 5th century, it wasn't until around the 9th or 10th century that people started celebrating, and this was done by observing the Roman Catholic feast day of St. Patrick on March 17th. Now, you would think that the first St. Patrick's Day parade would have been held in Ireland, but y'all, it wasn't. It wasn't in Ireland at all. The very first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in what is now known as St. Augustine, Florida in 1601. Now, over the years, St. Patrick's Day has grown into more than what it started out to be, and that's mostly because of how Irish immigrants celebrated it once they came to America. And in fact, in 1848, several of the Irish American communities in New York City decided to combine their parade. There were several parades, previous to this, and they decided to, combine all of those. And this is up in New York City, but it's the oldest civilian parade and the largest parade in America. And I would have thought that would have been something like an award for Macy's Thanksgiving parade. But it's actually the St. Patrick's Day parade. That parade averages 150,000 participants, and nearly 3 million people line the streets to watch this parade. And y'all, it takes this parade more than 5 hours from start to finish on its 1.5 mile route. Now, how crazy is that? I'd really like to see that sometime. Now, our little Christmas parade that we have here in my town takes a whole 10 minutes. So 5 hours is just unimaginable to me. Now, we often see leprechauns associated with St. Patrick's Day. So have you ever wondered why or how that came about? Well, it's believed that leprechauns come from the Celtic belief in fairies and that type of thing. And in Celtic tales, leprechauns are often portrayed as these grouchy little beings who were responsible for mending the shoes of the other fairies. Well, other than that, there's not much known about how these magical creatures became associated with that holiday. But another tradition that is popular on St. Patrick's Day is associated with leprechauns. Remember how I said that if you don't wear green, you get pinched? Well, it's said that if you wear green, it makes you invisible to leprechauns. And leprechauns like to pinch people. So, seems that I went to school with a lot of leprechauns. Well, whether you're Irish or not, I hope your St. Patrick's Day is full of good food and fun with family and friends. And you find that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Y'all have a great day.